Hey guys, welcome to Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. It's been a while, but I'm back here for the Thrift Flip Road Trip with Sammy, Trish, Kay, and Jody. Enjoy! Hey everybody, Sabrina's Craft-nanigans is back. I know it's been a while, but here I am. School has had me a little busy teaching the little people. But everything has finally calmed down. Thank goodness. I've missed being in my craft room. You can see I still have like 4th of July stuff hung behind me. That literally was the last time I was able to put a video together. It was in July for the Thrift Flip Road Trip. Speaking of Thrift Flip Road Trip, back again today. You remember on the last one when I made my melons? You remember my melons? I made my watermelons out of old spindles that a friend of mine found at the thrift shop. And I had an awesome viewer suggest maybe making pumpkins. Well, since it's been so long and we're now into fall, I figured I'd take my last couple spindles I have and take that lovely viewer suggestion and make some pumpkins out of the spindles. I'm so excited for you to see this, guys. Thank you for watching me, and thank you Trish and Kay and Sammy and Jody from Southern Seasons. I am so happy to be here with y'all. Y'all make sure you check the playlist in my description box to see all these beautiful ladies and everybody that's in this playlist that is so extremely talented. If you enjoyed my melon spindles, I bet you're gonna like my pumpkin spindles. And that little red wagon a lot of you liked is making a special appearance again. Can you see it in the back there? I hope you all enjoy. Enjoy. Mwah. So glad I'm back. Love y'all. Okay, here we go, guys. Here are the rest of my spindles. This is it. This is all I have right here. We're going to make some pumpkins with them this time. Going to get my handy dandy miter saw box and my saw and cut them into a lot of different little shapes. As we go through here, you can see I have some small. I'm going to cut me some bigger ones. And then some look like little knobby on top. Little square on the bottom. Some look perfect square, others don't, but there they are, guys. You can see I did not take all that stripped paint that somebody tried to strip off of them off. I have a nail in the bottom of this one that I'm going to try to get out. Hammer didn't work. Grab some just wire cutters and boom, got it out. So there we go. Checking the rest of them, making sure nobody has any more nails. And I'm going to sand the edges or the bottoms and the tops. Really, really good. I am not going to sand the outsides too much because as you can see, I want to keep all of that texture from the paint that was coming off those spindles. So I'm just going to kind of go over them very lightly. And there we go. We got it. I'm going to make sure I just take a little microfiber cloth, dust them all off. And I also kind of take a wipey to get the final remnants of all the dust off. Don't paint with all that dust all over your wood after you cut it. That's just bleh, it'll get in your paint. Now we're ready to go. So here we go. I got a couple tall ones, got a couple mediums, and I got a couple babies. You'll also see me throw a little extra wonky one in there later. But look at that texture on that. That is just so awesome. And none of them are exactly the same. I loved that. That's why I wanted to keep it. They're all so different. And you can't get any more pumpkier than that. Every pumpkin's different. I'm going to take some paint. I'm going to use some sage. I'm going to use some celery. And this is all Waverly chalk paint. Oh, that first one was moss. That one was celery. Then the dusk. Oh, I love that dust blue color. Antique parchment by Apple Barrel. Pumpkin by Waverly. And later I'll use my antique wax. I thought I was going to paint one that way, but nope. I just used it to distress a little bit. Got some paint brushes. Won't use all of them, but I had them all ready to go. Going to start with my pumpkin color by Waverly. And going to do this first one in a pumpkin color. I'm going to do the whole entire thing. And I'm just going to make sure that I paint it real good, getting all the little nooks and crannies and in between all that paint that was chipping off of there. I'm going to get the whole thing. Sorry about my snotty nose, y'all. Allergies, Texas. Sorry. I'll just send them over to the side and make sure wherever my finger touched them, and then I'll have disasters and they'll fall over. But that's okay. We can fix that too. So there's my first pumpkin. Now, my second punky, I'm going to use this beautiful dusk color. It's a light bluish gray color. This is one of my favorite colors, guys. Going to do the same thing here. Going to paint it all up, making sure I get in all those nooks and crannies. I paint up, down, side to side. I dab, whatever needs to happen. I probably should have actually used like a stippling brush, but you know, it is what it is. It worked. It all came through. Now I'm going to use some celery for one of these smaller ones. You're going to see, guys, that I really love the greens and the blues for fall, with just a few pops of the orange, yellow, and white creamy colors to bring out those greens and blues a little bit, I guess you could say. I don't know. But I just love the greens and the blues for fall. I'm really digging that, not just the yellows and the oranges. Here I'm using that Antique Parchment by Apple Barrel. Use that as another big one. Touched up all my ends and stuff there. And these were really dry. By the time I was done painting all these guys, they were dry. Now I'm coming into some dilemmas. I'm trying to think here. I've got my moss left. I've got sage left. I'm going to go ahead and take this little one and paint it with my sage, which is a beautiful greenish color with some grays in it that I absolutely love. Sage, moss, the dust color. Oh, the creams. I love those colors for fall. That's why you're only going to see the one orange one. Okay, now I've got another one left. I've got my moss right here. Now I'm thinking. Now we start to run into dilemmas. Not the last time. This is the dilemma part. Well, I've got my maize, and I'm thinking to myself, I need another pop of color. So I had 2 little extra pieces of spindles cut and left over, and I wasn't going to use them, but then I decided, you know, this little wonky looking piece is pretty cool looking. And I did want to use the maize after all, so I colored the little wonky in maize. And my last chunk here, I'm going to use for my moss. Same thing, just paint them all. The tops, the bottoms, the sides, the nooks, the crannies, every bit of it. If you like, hit that like button, subscribe, the notification bell. Gonna dry them, making sure they have a little bit of a good dry. Stay tuned.
Welcome
for Trish
to
and
the
Kay telling you about the Thrift Flip Road Trip giveaway.
Today we're driving into an exciting open challenge brought to you by Unicorn Dust Designs, Crafting Cousins, and our special guest host, Jody at Southern Seasons. Watch as talented creators transform forgotten treasures into something extraordinary. And here's the best part. We're giving away fabulous prizes to 5 lucky winners. Prizes include a Dremel rotary toolkit from Homeridge Studio, a micro sander and a pair of miter snips from Happiness Created, a $25 Amazon gift card from Farmhouse Frugally, and 2 wood craft kits from Crafting Cousins. To enter, just watch the September Thrift Flip Road Trip playlist and comment your favorite project from each creator on their video. You must comment on every video to be eligible to win. Mark your calendar for September 28th when we will announce the winners on our community tabs. I'm sorry, due to shipping costs, the giveaway is only open to U.S. residents. Don't miss out on this chance to win, and be sure to spread the love by following the playlist link in the description box below.
You guys make sure you hit that playlist and watch everybody and comment to get those awesome prizes. Here, I'm finally done painting all my little punkies, and I'm just showing you guys all the texture that's left in there. I love it. That was just some leftover paint somebody tried to strip off, and I gave up. I wasn't giving up. I didn't want it off anyway. As you can see, I'm going to use some burnt umber and my antique wax and also some of that antique parchment to start distressing my punkies. Moose says hello, by the way. So I'm going to use the I'm going to use the burnt umber. That's it. For the orange, the white, and the yellow punkies, because those were the brighter ones, and I figured I'd use the brown on those. As you can see, I'm just taking it. I do have stippling brushes now, to distress, and I just dip it in the paint, and then I've got my paper towel there to unload a lot of the paint. Now, you could see the curves on those sides. Yeah, that did not turn out good. I tried to get most of that curve part off because I'm thinking Pumpkin put a little curve on it, right? Yeah, I look like I drew a bunch of C's and backward C's, and I'm taking over my first graders here. So I decided I didn't like that too much. So I tried to work with it the best I could and wipe some of it off with a wipey. But you're going to see here with my white one that I come up with a little bit something different. You can see I really wasn't thrilled with that orange. So I'm going to try my white one. I still like the distressing on the corners, so I make sure to take care of all that. I make sure to dig into those little nooks that are kind of in the middle right there. So getting that done, I distress the top and the bottom, and now I'm just thinking, let me just kind of distress the sides a little bit with my little chippy brushes, distressing brushes, stippling brushes, whatever you want to call them. Showing you there just how that paint that they were trying to get off, it just looks so awesome once you hit it with the chippy brushes. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. Just like with my watermelons. See there? Look at all that. Okay, so now I've decided, okay, do definitely like the white one better. I'm putting kind of an asterisk on the top, like making an X and then a plus sign kind of on top of each other. But I picked up my smaller little distressing chippy stippling brush, whatever anybody wants to call it. And then I'm just kind of following those lines of the star I made on top down the sides as though it were the ribs of the pumpkin. And this is turning out so much better than the C arc thing I was trying to do on the orange one. That just, yeah, I didn't like that. But I do like my white one a lot better. I also do the little asterisks on the bottom as well. You guys don't have to worry about the bottoms because those it's going to be sitting down. But I went ahead and I always do it all anyway because that's just me. Now, I'm going back to my orange, and I decided, okay, let me see if I can try to fix this a little bit. So I'll go ahead and put the lines on down the sides that follow the crossy xy asterisks on top. And I'm starting to like it a little bit better. You can see every time I kind of get finished with this distressing chippy stripping brush. Yeah, gotcha, folks. Tired? Long week at school this week. But I take a wipey and I kind of wipe some of it off. So there's my two big ones, and now we're just going to blow through my little ones here. Going to do the same thing. I'm taking the burnt umber for the yellow, and I also do it for one of my greenish color one, the celery one. I used my burnt umber on. But I do the same thing to those guys. The edges, make the asterisks on top and bottom, and then follow the lines down. And there we go. Now, I'm going to take the Antique Parchment by Apple Barrel to do my last three over there. This is the dusk one. And then the moss and sage one. I'm going to use the Antique Parchment white creamy color. Because like I said, I love those colors, guys. These last three are like my favorite right here. But I'm doing the same exact thing with my chippy distressing brush. But I made the X's and the lines, and there we go. Now I've decided, okay, on these brown ones where I used the burnt umber, I want to, some of them were a little dark, so I wanted to lighten it up, so I went back over them with the Antique Parchment. Now I'm going to go over all of them with my antique wax. I've got a wipey, but as you can see, as I take the wipey, I wipe the wipey off on the paper towel. And then here you can see, even on the white, I'm just kind of showing you how it just gives it just a little bit more a dirty kind of color because they are punkies. They've been in the dirt, right? So they got to have a little bit of dirt on them. But I didn't want a whole lot. I just wanted enough to give it kind of a shadow, just some shading. So I do that to all of those guys. Look at there, aren't they beautiful? Oh, it is the fun part, time to decorate. Those little sticks I got from Dollar Tree, they were big. I took my clippers and I just snipped them into 3 pieces each. You can get those at Dollar Tree. And we're just going to glue them on top of our punkies. And we're also going to use some raffia to put around the top once we get our little stems glued on. I have some Pip Pip Cheerio berries to put around the top to make the little curly cues. And then some leaves I found in my stash. And then some little white daisy sunflowers and then some little yellows. The white flowers were from Dollar Tree and the yellow flowers were from Michael's that I got very cheap on sale. So here we go. Gonna glue all my little stems on the top of my pumpkins, and that little hot glue pen is what they call it. That's by Surebonder. This thing is amazing to do little stuff with. It is awesome. I love it. Bigger stuff, not so much. Little stuff, yes, it rocks. I got my little fingertips out here to be safe. And now we're putting our Rafiki on just around the top of the stem. I put a little glue around the top, holding it down. Decide those little glue things, they're too small. Forget it. And I got enough raffia stuffed on top. I don't feel the glue anyway. So you know what? It's all good. So we just put the raffia around all the tops. Now, I'm going to give them a haircut. I felt like Edward Scissorhands right here. Chop, 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 chop. There we go. So everybody got their raffia on. I figured you guys didn't want to sit through me doing all of them. So I just kind of show you one or two to get the gist and then blow through the rest of them. Now we're going to take my pit berries. I got all of these pit berry packets at Dollar Tree this year. This one's a white and green one. I cut 2 of those. Then there's an orange one. And it's orange and like a amber maroon color. I cut 2 of those. And then the last one is just the darker maroon color. And I cut 2 of those. And then I cut 2 more of the orange and amber one. I'm just going to take a Sharpie pen, swirl it around. And that gives you your little trindles, maybe is what it's called. Guys, I don't know. The stems are called peduncles. That I do know, thanks to Kathy Jo and Brenda. But anyway, I'm going to take my little spindles now, and I'm just going to wrap them around the top of my stem. I will also later put just a little dab of hot glue at the bottom and push them down after I get my leaves on to make sure that they stick. And you can adjust these. If you want bigger loops, you can do a bigger pencil. If you want tighter loops, get a smaller pencil. These leaves, I ripped off a wreath that I had in my stash, and I'm using the bigger ones for my bigger pumpkins, my taller ones, and using the smaller ones for my smaller pumpkins. I'm literally just gluing. Decided the fingertips would be good here because I could feel the glue on that one. And I'm just gluing one leaf at the top of each little pumpkin, stuffing it in the raffia under the trindle pit trio. So here we go. I'm getting my little sunflower daisies out here. Those were from Dollar Tree. This batch, the yellow ones, were from Michael's. I just wanted a little variety here. And I pulled off, there were some big ones of the yellow ones, and there was some little ones as well. So I kind of got a variety. I got the little ones for the little ones and the big ones for the big ones. Here, I'm going to put one of the big orange ones on. And again, all I did, just a little bit of glue, glued it to the side of the stem. And then I decided, ooh, need a white one. So I glue the white one on right here. And they're so cute. They're so cute little pumpkins. Look at that. And I go ahead and put a flower on each one of the rest of them. Aren't they looking so cutesy? And again, I put a little extra hot glue. You don't see me do this part, but just to make sure that the spindles are glued tight down to the bottom. I trim a little bit of them up. I'm playing with my little twirly, sticky pit Cheerio berries. But there they are. Aren't they adorable? I love them. Here's my little setup. They're in the pumpkin patch. And guys, there's that little red wagon that so many of you loved when I did my watermelons. He's back. The farmer's market wagon that I got at the thrift store too. He's so cute. Really hope you guys enjoyed my little pumpkins. I wish I could remember the viewer's name that gave me the idea, but y'all are amazing. Y'all are wonderful. I am so glad I'm back. I love y'all so much. There will be more.